want to start by saying that I can definitely relate to the theme of today's meeting, it being my first speech ever with the Daybreakers Toastmasters Club. Have courage, attack your fear, so here it goes. Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen, the places I've been and the things I've done have helped shape who I am today. I'm fortunate to have lived in different places, have great experiences, and work in a wide range of jobs, all of which impacted me in one way or another. I was born in Amarillo, Texas on September 25th, 1979. For those that don't know Amarillo, it's a somewhat smallish town in the northern part of the state, right in the middle of the Panhandle. My hometown has been made famous by that illustrious George Strait song, Amarillo by Morning. And we're also surprisingly well known for a restaurant called the Big Texan that serves a 72-ounce steak. Believe it or not, it's gigantic. At least those are the two things that people are most familiar with when I tell them where I'm from. While I didn't grow up on a ranch or even in the country, my father was in the cattle business. He actually still is and has been his entire life since he was 17 years old. So as far back as I can remember, I was working cows, riding horses, getting up painfully early to go help my dad. Honestly, I enjoyed it. Being outside, around the animals, seeing the landscape, which if you've ever been to that part of the state, you'll know, while it's dry, flat, and there are practically no trees, it is very unique and picturesque, with huge skylines and beautiful sunrises and sunsets. However, as much as I appreciated the whole situation, I learned at a young age I didn't want to spend my adult career surrounded by livestock. And in turn, I decided to consider other career paths. I had a great time during high school, but you could probably call it somewhat typical. I went to class, studied, and played sports. I had a job most of the time, worked mainly in restaurants, but by the time I graduated, I was ready for a change of scenery. I've always enjoyed the outdoors, skiing, fishing, and things like that. And so after graduation, some friends and I moved to Boulder, Colorado. And the plan was simple: enroll in college, get jobs, and ski as much as possible. Well, that was great in theory. In reality, I think I got a lot more skiing done than I completed college courses. My time in Boulder was excellent, but after about 3 years, I knew that it was time to buckle down and finish my college degree. The fun couldn't last forever. Consequently, in the summer of 2001, I moved to Lubbock, Texas to attend Texas Tech University and complete my finance degree. If I'm being honest, I wasn't excited to go to college in a town only a short 2-hour drive from where I grew up. But to my surprise, I enjoyed Lubbock more than I ever thought I would. I loved Big 12 football, and I became a die-hard Mike Leach fan. I was shocked, like all Tech alum, when they fired Coach Leach. I've got my fingers crossed that we can get our football program back on the road to recovery. I don't know if any of you guys follow Texas Tech or NCAA football, but it's not looking good for us. Now, from the time I graduated high school up until I finished Texas Tech, I had worked an array of jobs. I worked in countless restaurants. I was a bartender. I worked for a title company and a home mortgage company after that. I worked retail in a clothing store, which during the holidays can be quite excruciating. I even served my time working on a construction site, working construction. Needless to say, once I graduated and it was time to get a job, I had an open mind. I've always known that I wanted to be in sales, and I developed an interest in real estate from past jobs that I had. So what I do now gives me the opportunity to put the two together. I sell commercial real estate. Ultimately, after sending out what felt like thousands of resumes and going on a number of interviews, I got a call from Brent Smith, a fellow club member who is actually not with us today. And I'll speak with him about that later. Brent invited me down for an interview. I got on a plane and I flew to Houston. Actually, it was my first trip. I had never been here before. To make a long story short, Brent hired me on. I came to work in the Houston office of Marcus and Millichap. I've been here for 5 years, just about 5 years. The last 5 years at M&M would be a 4 to 6 minute speech all its own. But I will say that while my time spent there has not in any way been easy, it's been one of the incredible learning experiences of my life. I joined Toastmasters with the intention of developing my communication and leadership skills, both professionally and personally. And I want to thank all of you for communication. And of course, I'm looking forward to continued participation in the Daybreakers Toastmasters Club.